The people of the states of South Carolina in convention assembled do declare and ordain that ordinance adopted by us in convention on the 23rd day of May in the year of our Lord 1788, whereby the Constitution of the United States of America was ratified, and also all the acts and parts of acts of the General Assembly of the state ratifying amendments of the said Constitution, and hereby repealed, and that the Union now subsisting between South Carolina and other states under the name of the United States of America is hereby dissolved. I, South Carolina, would like to invite Mississippi, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, and Texas to join together with I and make a new nation called the Confederate States of America. Our reasons for leaving the Union are: the United States has broken the Constitution, the United States has failed to enforce the fugitive slave laws, and the government would not allow slavery in the new territories.
Georgia passed its Ordinance of Succession on January 18, 1861. Mr. Toombs addressed the people of Georgia through a telegraph on January 23rd, and this is what he said. I came here to secure your constitutional rights and to demonstrate to you that you can get no guarantee for those rights from your northern confederates. The whole subject was referred to a committee of 13 in the Senate. I was appointed on the committee and accepted the trust. I submitted propositions which, so far from receiving decided support from a single member of the Republican Party of the committee, were all treated with derision or contempt. A vote was then taken in the committee on the amendments to the Constitution proposed by Hon. J.J. Crittenden, and each and all of them were voted against anonymously by the Black Republican members of the committee. In addition to the facts, a majority of the Black Republican members of the committee declared distinctly that they had no guarantees to offer, which was silently acquiesced in by the other members. The Black Republican members of the committee of 13 are represented men of the party in section, and to the extent of my information truly represent them. The committee of 33 on Friday adjourned for a week without coming to any vote, after solemnly pledging themselves to vote on the propositions then before them on that day. It is controlled by the Black Republicans, your enemies, who only seek to amuse you with delusive hope until your election, that you may defeat the friends of secession. If you are deceived by them, it shall not be my fault. I have put the test fairly and frankly. It is decisive against you now. I tell you upon faith of a true man that all further looking to the North for security for your constitutional rights in the Union ought to be instantly abandoned. It is fraught with nothing but ruin to yourselves and your prosperity. Secession by the 4th day of March next should be thundered from the ballot box by the unanimous voice of Georgia on the 2nd day of January next. Such voice will be your best guarantee for liberty, security, tranquility, and glory. R. Toombs.
We, the people of the state of Florida, in convention assembled, do solemnly ordain, publish, and declare, we hereby withdraw from the Confederacy of States existing under the name of the United States of America, and from the existing government.
Sam Houston was the premier Southern Unionist in Texas. While he argued for slave property rights and deplored the election of the Lincoln administration, he considered secession unconstitutional and thought secession at the moment in time was a rash action that was certain to lead to a conflict favoring the industrial and populated North. He predicted, let me tell you what is coming. After the sacrifice of countless millions of treasure and hundreds of thousands of lives, you may win Southern independence if God be not against you, but I doubt it. I tell you that while I believe with you in the doctrine of states' rights, the North is determined to preserve this union. They are not a fiery, impulsive people as you are, for they live in colder climates. But when they began to move in a given direction, they moved with the steady momentum and perseverance of a mighty avalanche. And what I fear is they will overwhelm the South. Houston rejected the actions of the Texas Secession Convention, believing it had overstepped its authority in becoming a member state of the newly formed Confederacy. He refused to take an oath of allegiance to the Confederacy and was deposed from office, saying, "Fellow citizens, in the name of your rights and liberties, which I believe have been trampled upon, I refuse to take this oath. In the name of the nationality of Texas, which has been betrayed by the Convention, I refuse to take this oath. In the name of the Constitution of Texas, I refuse to take this oath. In the name of my own conscience and manhood, which this convention would degrade by dragging me before it to pander to the malice of my enemies, I refuse to take this oath. I deny the power of this convention to speak for Texas. I protest against all the acts and doings of this convention, and I declare them null and void." After Houston maintained a low public profile until his death in July 1863. Houston later wrote a friend, "There comes a time a man's section is his country. I stand with mine. I was a conservative citizen of the United States. I am now a conservative citizen of the Southern Confederacy."
I, Alabama, seceded from the Union on January 11, 1868. By 1860, blacks made up 45% of the state's population. We contributed about 120,000 men to the Confederate service. They had poor hospitals and equipment. About 10,000 slaves and 2,700 white men escaped to join the Union Army. About 1,750 men died in the Battle of Gettysburg. By the end of the war, 35,000 had died. 30,000 were left seriously injured, which left Alabama with 20,000 widows and 60,000 orphans. Alabama readmitted to the Union on July 13, 1868.
I, Mississippi, am the second state to declare secession from the Union. By February 4, 1861, 6 other states joined the Confederacy. Along with South Carolina, I keep my slaves. Around 80,000 white men from Alabama fought in the Confederate Army. 17,000 black slaves and 500 white men from Alabama fought in the Union Army. I seceded from the Union on January 9, 1870. I, Mississippi, readmitted to the Union February 23rd. An ordinance to dissolve the Union between the state of Louisiana and other states united with her under the compact entitled the Constitution of the United States of America. We, the people of the state of Louisiana, in convention assembled, do declare and ordain, and it is hereby declared and ordained, that the ordinance passed by us in convention on November 22nd, in the year 1811, whereby the Constitution of the United States of America and the amendments of the said Constitution were adopted, and all laws and ordinances by which the state of Louisiana became a member of the Federal Union, being the same are hereby repealed and abrogated, and that the Union now subsisting between Louisiana and other states under the name of the United States of America is hereby dissolved. We do further declare and ordain that the state of Louisiana hereby resumes all rights and powers heretofore delegated to the government of the United States of America, that her citizens are absolved from all allegiance to the government, and that she is in full possession and exercise of all those rights of sovereignty which appertain to a free and independent state. We do further declare and ordain that all rights acquired and vested under the Constitution of the United States or any act of Congress or treaty or under any law of this state and not incompatible with this ordinance shall remain in force and have the same effect as if this ordinance had not been passed.
As you know, Lincoln has won the election of 1860, which has caused the South to secede. With Lincoln as president, he will ignore states' rights and also the right to own property. If you do not succeed, the abolitionist will control the government. And that means that all our slaves will be outlawed.
Our economy will never survive with slaves being outlawed.
So what you're saying is that if we don't succeed, that our slaves would be and will be broke.
I agree. Southerners can't even relocate to the west. Our slaves would be free and could run north.
Lincoln should have never been elected president. He's causing mayhem.
This is the exact reason why you need to succeed.